People I've spoken to who have worked with him describe it as like this kind of classic executive indecision and refusal to make calls, because making calls means exposing yourself to risk, and if you make calls and expose yourself to risk, then you lose your cushy job, and it's better to stay seated. And this is because, yeah, I mean, when you maintain the status quo, especially in a position of like corporate turmoil where you want to be in your chair when all of the dust is settled, and like you want to be in making that sweet executive money for as long as possible, making risky calls and putting big money into things can make you a target. You have to be the person who's like justifying to your bosses why you decided to greenlight this whatever and give them $100 million to do whatever.
What else is there to say about WB Games right now and where they're at?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, so Monolith is no more, Player First is no more, WB San Diego is no more, so they're definitely consolidating. I think I think they're, man, with the overall industry vibes, there's no sense of security about anything or anyone.
First time.
Hey boys and girls, welcome back to Midgame Life Crisis. I am Inconsistency, and with me is my man Werewolf. What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing, guys? Guys, there's a sickness spreading through our beloved medium, the gaming industry.
Oh yeah.
The source is the corporate influence, and we are seeing the symptoms all over the place. It's getting track record studios closed, it's getting IPs disappearing, it's getting good mechanics, good patents locked away for over a decade, and we just all lose.
Yep.
You know, bro?
Yep, it's frustrating, man. What we're talking about here, the sickness we're talking about, is the corporate greed, indecision, indecisiveness, and risk averseness from these CEOs running these companies.
Wrong people for the job.
Yep. Everyone knows about the recent story about Monolith, a studio that's been around for 3 decades now, being closed down, being shuttered by Warner Brothers Games. And of course their technology, the Nemesis system, being sent to prison, basically. It's such a tragic story, but this is just another symptom. The sickness that we're going to show you runs rampant throughout the body of that is AAA gaming, the gaming industry right now. And this symptom is just one of many.
It's recurring.
Yeah, it shows you why we have record-breaking layoff numbers in the last specifically in the last 2 years, but in general in this gaming industry, whether you're successful or not, by the way, which is even more horrifying if you think about it. Anyways, yeah, so we're going to break it down for you guys. We did a bunch of research about it. We've watched the Jason Schreier interview, which I, by the way, recommend everyone who's listening here should listen to it. It's if you care about the gaming industry, it's a fascinating listen, because this dude is an investigative journalist. He has a lot of sources inside those companies and corporations. It was on a kind of funny Gamecast. I'll leave a link below, as always, and we'll give examples from it during the video as well. And yeah.
Jason has lots of contacts in the industry. He brings in the hottest scoops, and he gives a very interesting perspective.
Yes, he's good at his job. Let's just say that. So we broke it down for you guys. It's basically like this: the 4, what would you call them?
Horsemen.
The 4 scenes of the apocalypse. From the research we've done, the reoccurring stuff that happens and basically contribute to this sickness are trend chasing, shareholder pandering, indecisiveness, and of course, how can we forget, profit over value. We're gonna break them down for you guys and give examples. Yeah, some of these points are interchangeable. They can literally be used with some of the other sins we mentioned, because it's all connected. It's all interconnected. It's the sickness. We're gonna show you this. Let's get into it.
So, what do we mean by trend chasing? We mean that companies usually try to take shortcuts to success. Instead of innovating, they prefer to go through or chase the last thing that they saw that worked for someone else.
Yes. Or something that they think is a sure thing because if you have one successful live service game, then let's spawn 20. Let's produce 20 of those. We're looking at you, Sony.
You were the chosen one!
That's a prime trend chasing example. Oh, someone made a successful live service games. Okay. Then Sony decides to develop like 20 something of them at the same time.
Yes, and canceling pretty much most of them by now. I think there's only like 6 or 5 left out of the 20 something.
Well, when you're watching other live service games crashing and burning around you, you realize, okay, maybe it's not the trend anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a crowded fucking market, and it's very, very, very hard to stand out amongst it. I mean, look at the Concord and what happened there. Yeah. Trying to... I mean, Marvel Rivals is a unique success story. A unique one that is almost... I can't see any other game going to replicate that anytime soon, let's just say that. For every Marvel Rivals, you have 20 Concords, let's just say that you haven't even heard about.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Concord cost more to make.
Wasn't it like 200 million or something like that? It's something crazy, bro. Yeah. Anyways, other examples you can give is the Ubisoft chasing the NFTs trend, bro.
And again.
And again.
And again. And again.
Armed and dangerous! Sorry, what the hell is Again!
And then deciding maybe we should dish out the NFT marketplace. I can just imagine that meeting, It was like, okay, we're chasing NFTs, but it's not picking up. We need to make this money some other way. Give me an idea. Come on, guys, come on. Hit me. And then someone says, well, Steam has a marketplace. Why don't we make a marketplace but sell NFTs?
It's brilliant! It's brilliant!
Yes! That's the kind of idea I want.
Give that man a bonus!
Let's copy something from someone else. I don't want new ideas. I want things that I know that work.
With zero innovation and zero effort, but maximum profit. Ching ching! Yes! Let's do it, baby. Give that man a bonus. Give him a Ferrari. And 2 weeks later, he's fired.
Make him a CEO of some developer.
Yeah, a month later, that dude gets fired, and the fucking companies that worked at those NFT games are closed. Anyway, yeah, of course, the most blatant example we can give
with Warner Brother Games.
Yes, Warner Brother Games, the monetization aspect that they added to Shadow of War. Those who don't know, Shadow of Mordor.
Yeah.
First of all, it was one of Warner Brothers' most successful games in their history, and it's definitely their most successful Lord of the Rings IP they've ever made.
For Monolith at the time, it was their most successful game as well.
For Monolith to this day, it is the most successful.
Yeah.
Basically, Shadow of War was a very good game. This is the game, by the way, that had the Nemesis system in it.
The Nemesis system is basically a patent that Monolith invented, that gives you engagement with the game, because the enemies that you form when they defeat you in battle, they remember you and they know how they defeated you, and they shove it in your face, and you have a vendetta with them, and they go up in ranks. They get an advantage against you. It gets you more involved, it makes the world feel like it was influenced by you. You feel immersed in the game.
Yes. Yeah.
This was very successful. Shadow of Mordor was very successful, and then the company who made it said, okay, let's make another one, People seem to enjoy it, and that was a great idea.
Not before patenting it, right?
That's Warner Brothers, that's fine, they have a corporation, they do that kind of stuff. This is the least of evils, but they decided to make Shadow of War. They said, we can even innovate the Nemesis system, make it better. Yes, we like it, but put in a shop. What? But it's a single player game. No. We need to make more profit. Put in a shop. I want loot boxes. These things are trendy right now. I've seen them work in Overwatch. I want them in the game.
That's not the worst part of it, though. The worst part of that, adding the shop, if the shop was there and it was completely optional, and you don't have to use it if you don't want to, which in theory you don't.
Bullshit.
But they added such a huge grind fest near the end of the game that you have to do if you want to finish the actual game. In actual, to see the actual end cinematic of the game, you have to finish a whole huge part of grind that you can skip if you buy time savers from the shop. The feature was so blatant, so greedy and blatant and terrible that it was removed from the game 6 months after the game launched. That's how horrible it was. That even Warner Brothers said, okay, we might have went too far this time.
Or I could venture that Warner Brothers after 6 months tell themselves, okay, the people that won't buy the game because of the shop are, they're gonna buy it now if we remove it, and the people that are gonna buy shit at the shop already bought it, so it's fine.
Yeah. Anyways, moving on to the next one, shareholder pandering. This one is should come to no surprise for anyone who knows how the real world works. Basically, actions by CEO that were solely to impress shareholders, and not without any thought about the real life repercussions of their actions.
Clownish shit that came out of CEO mouths.
Let's give some examples. Go ahead.
Alright. Warner Brothers Games CEO, David Haddad, he had to impress his shareholders because, let's face it, Warner Brothers was crashing and burning this year. Past few years. Failure after failure after failure. And
Other than
Hogwarts, yeah.
Hogwarts Legacy was their only success in the last decade, basically, when it comes to the gaming.
Yeah, and that's like, what, 3 years old?
Yeah, even more than that, I think. I can't remember.
Anyway, after Monolith almost dispersed because the entire leadership left because he forced them to switch to a Wonder Woman game, basically rebooting the game after they were working a few years on something else.
The legacy project.
Yeah. Now, not only the company is in ruins because they have no leadership, they had to replace everyone that left. He forced them to start working on Wonder Woman again from scratch. And then announced it so that the shareholders think that there's a great Wonder Woman IP coming, Impressive game with the game.
Yeah, it's basically, exactly. It's taking when they announced this game, it's back a few years back, like 5 years, 6 years ago.
They had nothing, not even a concept out.
Yeah, but Wonder Woman was still relatively a hot IP. There was like 2 movies that came out of it, right? The second one
was almost right after the second movie.
Yeah, the first one was very successful. The second one not very successful, but still, it was better than nothing. So they started working on that shit, and then everything that you described happened. It's very tragic that they had to kill the legacy project and basically made the 7 OG developers that made Monolith basically leave Monolith leaderless.
Yeah.
And without the direction, and then they told them, we'll give you a direction. Here, go do Wonder Woman.
Go work on that.
Good luck.
And make it a live service. But we don't know how to make live service. It doesn't matter. Make it.
Yeah. Not to mention the mass layoffs that's going on all around the industry, specifically in the last 2 years. It's been record-breaking numbers. And this is happening directly to appease shareholders and increase revenue. It happens even when you have successful franchises.
Exactly.
Which is horrible.
Remember when Bobby Kotick and Activision Blizzard laid off like hundreds of people when they had record-breaking income?
Yeah.
They were making record-breaking profits, and he laid off hundreds of people just to show the shareholders that he can make the arrow go a bit upper.
Yeah.
Well, another example of corporate pandering comes from Yves Guillemot, CEO of Ubisoft, that in a shareholder meeting decided to up the ante and turn AAA gaming into QUADRUPLE-A, just to prove to them how quality games, how much quality his game has.
I'm almost happy he did that. I'm almost happy that he did that in a shareholder meeting, that he coined the term quadruple game, because it's so fucking stupid that it's memeable.
Exactly. I was gonna say, he's not the only one. All of those CEOs, they give you memeable
expressions.
Outbursts, expressions, exactly.
Yeah, just to appease their shareholders and make them feel like they're releasing something that is more than what it is. But in reality, what they released is a shit game named Skull and Bones that no one is playing right now, and the servers will be... Was it shut down, or will it be shut down in the very near future? Don't worry, it will be shut down. If it hasn't already been, it will be shut down.
They wanted to shut it down years ago. They were forced to keep it.
Yeah, they had some They had some
contract with
Yeah,
Singapore.
they had some backwards agreement with the Singapore government. It's crazy, bro. Ubisoft can't win.
Let's talk about indecisiveness, yeah?
Keep going, yeah. Let's talk about it. Canceling, rebooting.
Exactly. When you keep changing your game production because you think something is not working anymore, or maybe
Not just changing, something's just outright
outright
canceling.
canceling, or
Yeah.
completely pivoting to a different direction.
This is what happened with the Legacy. Just what we just talked about
Yeah,
it.
exactly. This one is even it's a worse case of indecisiveness, because in this case he knew David Haddad that they were working on the legacy thing. He wasn't sure to
You should say David Haddad is
ex-CEO of Warner Bros. Games,
yeah.
and he knew he wasn't sure about that them trying a new IP. He wanted to stick to, of course, things that will make profit. He doesn't want to take any risks, so he wanted to put the Wonder Woman IP in there instead of a new IP. He tried to make it a live service game, because why not? All his other live service games seem to have been super successful. But still, for years, he didn't say anything. He let them keep developing that legacy thing until one day he was like, no, but I want you to make a Wonder Woman game. Do that. And then all the leadership left.
Anyway, cut to April 2021. Legacy is canceled, and Monolith's leadership team, the entire leadership team, quits. Every single director.
Yeah. Schreier described it as stringing them along.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers Games and David Haddad were basically stringing Monolith along with the Legacy. This is the reason why once they canceled it, the 7 OGs who created the Monolith basically left.
Cut to 2021. I believe it was the spring of that year, maybe like March, April, something like that. But around then, finally word comes down, hey, this is not going to happen. And it was a lot of stringing people along. A lot of different people at different levels were told, like, maybe there's a chance of this, maybe not. Is this going to happen? I don't know. Quick digression here.
Monolith was pretty much doomed from that moment.
This is so counter-logical. Why string them along? It's a waste of money. Salaries is like the most expensive.
Indecisiveness. That's exactly what it is. Just being risk averse and unwilling to take risks and unwilling to make decisions. Just whatever. Let's
Or
keep
making
another
decisions and keep reversing them. For example, with Dragon Age The Veilguard,
The Veilguard.
where BioWare was working on it and EA were, okay, make it a live service. No, wait, don't make it a live service. Wait, make it a live service. No, wait,
Yeah.
don't make it a live service.
Yeah. Was rebooted like 3 or 4 times because of that.
Yeah, the team kept being moved to work on Anthem, to come back to Veilguard.
Yeah. Corinne Bush, the director of Dragon Age The Veilguard,
Ex-director.
she was brought in like late 2022 or 20, maybe even 2023. It was like
Yeah, something like that.
very late in development, which just tells you how horribly this was mismanaged, this project. And yeah, again, EA not knowing how to use the company, being indecisive and dumb. Let's move on to Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, look at Ubisoft. Assassin's Creed Shadows. This thing has been delayed 2 or 3 times already?
No, three times at least.
At least. And every time that delay is not because they're kinking out bugs. It's not because they need to polish it to get it just right. No, it's because they keep wanting to change things when they realize it's not going to be taken well.
Yeah, they give you some market speak, like corporate speak, assuring quality is up to standards and all that kind of bullshit. But what they're basically saying is that they're trying to do last minute changes that hopefully will appease the mob, if you will. The mob being us, the gamers.
One of the worst parts, one of the worst recurring things in this sickness is the profit over value.
Yes, profit over value for sure.
Because in this one,
Can you explain to us what you mean by that?
I will. It's when they decide that bringing more profit to their planned product is more important than it having value and quality. And they do that because they take a company that is very good at doing something and has a track record. It keeps giving you the same kind of games and they always hit the mark and they're always improving from time to time. And then they tell these companies to add things that they think will make more money. When these corpo rats take these talented developers who have a very specific expertise at creating something, and then they want them to add things that are way out of their expertise just to add profit.
Potential profit, yeah.
Exact. Potential profit, regardless of game vision.
Or the company's history or specialization, right? They don't give a shit.
No, it doesn't matter.
It's just programmers. It's just they're all the same.
Yeah, so they can, it's programming this, programming that, it shouldn't make a difference.
That's the suit mentality. That is the corporate mentality. It's just the game programmers. Tell them to do the other game.
Exactly. To program something else.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll be fine.
If you can program in fist fighting, program in shooting a gun, it's the same thing.
Yes, exactly. So let's give some examples, shall we?
I just wanted to say,
Yeah.
this one is the worst because who ends up paying the price in these cases is these developers.
Always.
Because they get shattered, and then we pay the price because we can't have those good games anymore, and we can't have those good patents anymore, and we can't have those beloved IPs anymore.
By the way, do you know who doesn't pay the price?
The CEOs that made all these fucking mistakes.
The decision makers, and that's why this is a sickness.
Yeah.
This is why we're calling this a sickness. All these poor people getting sacked and losing their jobs, that's the symptom of the sickness. All those projects getting closed, that's the symptom of the sickness. All those projects getting cancelled and repurposed and getting companies to do work on projects they have no business working on, like exactly what happened with BioWare and Anthem.
Yeah.
Basically telling a company that has a rich history of single-player RPG games.
Yeah, story, narrative, RPG games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To go and make a live service looter shooter?
Exactly.
Really?
Completely different engine than what they're used to.
Just profit over value. They don't care about the value. They don't care about... They only care about the profit, bro. They only care about the profit at all costs. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but it's not that they had a vision. It's not that BioWare said, oh, now we can make a game that will... This is what we want to make. No, they forced it on them because they wanted them to make something that will make more money than what they did previously.
Yeah. The classic example, in my opinion, is Rocksteady and Suicide Squad killed the Justice League, bro. I mean, come on. Taking a Rocksteady, a company that is made only single-player Batman games, basically.
Batman melee fighting multiple enemies Batman games.
Yes, they made a revolutionary melee combat system that the Batman games, Arkham City games use, and
wonderful combat system.
Yeah, so let's take this company that only has expertise with single-player games and make a. I'm getting enraged just thinking about this. Make them make a fucking live service game, right? Where all the characters have shooting weapons. They have fucking AK-47s and bazookas and stuff like that.
Even the ones that are known for hand-to-hand combat. No. Give them guns.
Yeah, the fucking shark, the walking shark, bro.
You see a huge shark, give him a gun.
Yes.
But he eats people. No, give him a gun.
I mean, I don't get it, bro. Just these companies are so stupid. They're so detached. Yeah, so let's sum it up, man. Let's sum it up.
So, in short, what we've seen is that we get the same things, different CEOs, different corporate companies, different developers getting burned, but it's always from the same sources. You have some fuckwad that doesn't know what he's doing. He learned business development. He has nothing to do with the game development. And he comes in there, gives his stupid idea, forces it down and leaves. And then when the things crash and burn, he just moves on to the next company he's gonna...
Parachutes on his golden parachute to the next project while he leaves behind the burning fucking field of sacked programmers.
Yeah. Basically that.
It's a sickness. Basically what we're trying to say here, that this is a symptom. Everything we just showed you are symptoms to the sickness that is running rampant in the corporate gaming, basically, in AAA gaming. It's a shame because there's so many AAA games that are very, very good that I love, but I feel like today the trend chasing it has reached a new level. Like it's way beyond everything we've ever seen before. Like now the fact that you pay a full price for a game and they still have the audacity to shove some sort of
monetization
store or time-saving element. So I'm looking at you, Diablo 4. I mean, and skins.
Freemium economy crap in a premium game.
In a full-priced game. The fact that we take this today, this was a big no-no back in the day.
I don't take it.
Yeah, but most people do apparently, or these companies wouldn't keep doing it. We are also, the gamers, are also to blame of this sickness. If we stop playing those games and not pay these people for making shit games, then guess what? They'll stop making them, and maybe they'll learn but you know what? Actually, no. They won't learn the correct lessons.
They won't learn their lesson. They never learn their lesson.
They never learn correct lessons, do they? Ever.
No, they'll remove one CEO with one who is exactly the same.
Yeah. Anyways, that's it, guys. That's all we got for you. Maybe we should make a follow-up video talking about a potential cure for this sickness of if we had the power to change, or if you had the power to change things in the industry, what would you do? Maybe tell us below, in the comments below.
Yeah, and mentioning Larian or Warhorse is too obvious. Come on, be great.
No, but it's too obvious, but they are the prime examples right now. So I don't mind using them as a reference, for sure. Anyways, yeah, that's all we got for you guys. I am Inconsistency.
I'm Werewolf. Mid-game life crisis.
We are out.
Bye.